couple weeks ago, I talked about the reason you have your dreams. And that reason is simply that you're meant to live them. You have the dreams that you're meant to live, and I have the dreams that I'm meant to live. I want to speak a little bit more about that this week, about why we dream the dreams we dream, and is there ever a time we should give up? Hi, I'm Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we give you knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. First of all, we need to remember the truth that's often attributed to the great German philosopher Goethe, but in fact was spoken by Scottish mountaineer and writer W.H. Murray, and that is, there is nothing capricious in nature. The implanting of a desire indicates that its gratification is in the constitution of the person who feels it. Or in simpler terms, you would not have a desire unless you had the ability and the destiny to fulfill it. The desire and the fulfillment come in the same package, just like the oak tree is in the acorn. So if you have a true desire, a burning desire to be a writer, or an architect, or a talk show host, or a massage therapist, or a pastry chef, or design video games, the implanting of the desire indicates that you are meant to fulfill that desire. There are actually three reasons why people do whatever they do in life. First is to be happier. People get married, they have kids, they start businesses, they go on trips, they learn to meditate, they become attorneys or doctors or acupuncturists, or because they believe that that will bring them happiness. No one says, I'm going to become a doctor because I know that that will make me really miserable. Doesn't happen that way. The second reason people do what they do is because they want to contribute to the happiness of others or the well-being of the planet. If someone opens a restaurant, for example, they do it because they believe that if they serve people a beautiful meal, those customers' lives will be enriched and they'll be happier. Again, no one opens a restaurant and says, I'm going to serve really disgusting food so my customers will be miserable and have a horrible experience. Oh. The third reason people do what they do is because it is their dharma. You've heard this word. It's a Sanskrit word, and the definition of dharma is that which upholds, not just what upholds your own life, but according to Vedic literature, when you live your dharma, you're upholding all of creation. In fact, it says in the Vedic literature that when everyone is living their dharma, the world will enter into a golden age, an age of enlightenment. In the scripture called the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that it is so important to live your dharma that it's better to die living your own dharma than to live the dharma of another man. That's pretty strong. But if we believe that it's true, it kind of inspires us to live our dharma. But how do we know what our dharma is? Well, everyone is born with gifts and natural inclinations. Going with those inclinations is how you live your dharma. And when you use your gifts and your talents, you're upholding all of creation. So what makes you happy? Do you love music, sports, speaking? Do you love numbers, writing, building things, hiking? I don't know, gardening? What did you love when you were a child? I'm going to give you an example of dharma. My daughter, Deanna, always loved fashion. She was just a little fashionista from the time she was, she could practically pick out her own clothes. And she went to an artsy kind of a college and got a degree in fashion marketing and merchandising. But there is something else that was very unique about Deanna, and that is she always had this ability to heal. When she was a tiny girl and I had morning sickness when I was pregnant with her brother, she had to only be 2.5 because her brother's only 3 years younger. But if I had a headache or back pain, the first thing I would do was have Deanna lay her hands on me. And I always felt relief and sometimes felt completely cured. So after getting her degree in fashion, she realized she was done with that dharma. It was fun. It was fulfilling. But she's now a chiropractor. And her practice members adore her and her ability to heal them because it's her dharma. So you can have several dharmas in your lifetime. When one isn't floating your boat anymore, well, What is floating your boat? What do you feel drawn to? That could be your next Dharma. I also talked about my brother-in-law, Jonathan, before, but from time to time, but from the time he was a little boy, he loved music. His parents, they said that all he ever wanted was to listen to music and to go to concerts and to sing and play instruments. And when he was a teen, he realized that he had an eye for musical talent. He could predict which groups are going to be huge and which would be one-hit wonders. When he was in college, he became a disc jockey for the station. When he was 18, he wrote a music column in a school paper. And when he graduated from college, he wanted to become an agent. But his parents said that the future was in computers and convinced him to pursue a career in computers. And then, after attending one of my Yes to Success seminars, where he learned that the God of your understanding gave you a talent because she wants you to use it, and gave you a desire because you have the ability to fulfill that desire, and you love what you love for a reason. He told his parents that he was not going into computers, but he was going to be a music agent. Well, they were not happy with him, or with me for that matter, until a few years later when he discovered a little group called Nirvana in a coffee house in Seattle. And he signed them with his brand new label, Sub Pop, which went on to be one of the biggest alternative music labels in the world. And Nirvana's frontman, Kurt Cobain, in one of his final interviews, credited my brother-in-law, Jonathan, with coining the term grunge to describe the music that turned into a major musical genre. John appeared in Rolling Stone. He was on the cover of Spin magazine. He has an entire showcase in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame dedicated to him and his music label and his co-founder of the record label. So whatever lights you up and makes your heart sing is what you were put here to do. But it won't always be smooth sailing. There will be obstacles. Remember, in Yes to Success, we discovered that success is a journey. It's not a destination. The fun part is traveling the road towards the fulfillment of your dreams. We live in this big classroom called Planet Earth, and we're here to learn the lessons that each obstacle presents to us. Just don't get discouraged at the first or second or even third appearance of an obstacle. Don't think the destination isn't waiting just because there's a roadblock. Do what Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, suggests that we do. What he does is when he sees an obstacle, he says this in Think and Grow Rich, he says to it, "Well, hello, little fellow. I don't know what it is you've come to teach me, but whatever it is, I'm going to learn it so well that you will not have to come back a second time." So learn and then keep moving. And remember, there is nothing capricious in nature. And if you have a desire, it's there for you to fulfill. Again, that's why we all have different desires. One person wants to be a photographer, another wants to build buildings, and another wants to breed dogs. Just know that whatever you love, it loves you too. And your goals want you as much as you want them, because when everyone is living their Dharma, that's when a golden age will dawn. Have fun.